The last thing I wanted to talk about today, short stream today, because I've got to get to Home Depot and get an air conditioning portable one for this room, was I wanted to give you guys an update on the McCloskey's case. This is the cul-de-sac Commandos, couple that defended their home by brandishing firearms at a group of people that had broken into private property and were marching up a private street. Who were then, of course, arrested by the protectors, the police, and are attempting to be charged by the prosecutor for being the good guys in a situation. The number of the people that were breaking into private property that were arrested, I'm pretty sure was 0. We talked about this in our rule of law video that we did recently, but I just wanted to give you this update on the fact that the lead detective on this case refused to sign 2 different versions of a statement from the prosecutor trying to indict these people or to charge them with, to run them through the courts around what happened. The prosecutor, it turns out, is a far lefty that is, she's had multiple trips traveling around to different events funded by some far left groups. And these groups that are helping pay for her travel, at least, we don't know what else they're helping pay for, have publicly praised her for going after the McCloskeys. And so I just wanted to really quickly give you an update. These people are not out of the woods. They are still being persecuted for defending their property. Let me just read a little bit of this here. The probable cause statement against the McCloskeys, written by St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner, underlying was dripping with bias and filled with so many ridiculous falsehoods that led the police detective investigating the case reportedly to refuse to sign at least 2 different versions of the probable cause statement. Now, I'm not familiar with this website, informationliberation.com. I don't know if they have a bias or not, so I typically just kind of skip over any opinion statements on what's happening, and I just try and stick to the facts that are included in the article, which we will do here. The site shows these 2 probable cause statements, and it highlights some different statements about what happened that day. And both of these were refused by the lead investigator. He refused to sign this probable cause statement. Let me just read a little bit of this. He says, my investigation, this is the statement that the prosecutor is wanting him to sign about his investigation, and he's refusing. It says, my investigation, which included numerous eyewitness interviews and review of video footage, revealed that on June 28th, 2020, the 2 defendants, the McCloskeys, and others let's see, hold on, sorry. I want to get the people right. People participated in an organized and peaceful protest march. Organized and peaceful. Peaceful? Do you call something where you break down a private fence and trespass on private property, that's peaceful? Okay, no wonder he didn't sign it. Calling attention to racial inequities in the criminal justice system. The protest march proceeded through the central West End neighborhood, ending up on Kings Highway Boulevard. The protesters marched north on Kings Highway until reaching Portland Place. The protesters then split up, with one group entering Portland Place and the other continuing to Westmoreland Boulevard. No mention of the fact that was private property and that they were effectively trespassing or that they broke in. So 2 of the protesters walked through the open gate, another reason why he didn't sign it, onto the street and sidewalks of Portland Place. Upon entering Portland Place, the protesters were immediately confronted by the defendant's husband, Mark McCloskey, who is armed with a semi-automatic assault rifle, visibly loaded with an ammunition clip. Mark McCloskey screamed at the demonstrators to leave, lowered his semi-automatic assault rifle, and pointed it towards the group of protesters walking through the gate and onto Portland Place. Shortly thereafter, the defendant emerged from inside 1 Portland Place, armed with a semi-automatic handgun. The defendant began yelling at the protesters to go while pointing the semi-automatic handgun at the demonstrators, amongst whom were such and such, so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. The protesters feared that the defendant might fire her weapon due to her finger being on the trigger and her highly agitated demeanor. Mark McCloskey joined the defendant on the street side of Portland Place. The defendant and Mark McCloskey continued to angrily yell at protesters while pointing their firearms at the protesters standing on the sidewalk and the street. So that is what this guy refused to sign. rare moment of a cop standing up for facts against politics. So, just wanted to give you that update. I'm unsure what statement he ended up signing. I tried to find that, wasn't able to. If anybody has that, please let me know. I want to kind of keep an eye on this case as it goes through, because it's a great teaching moment for the normies that still believe that the justice system is a thing, and that the rule of law is a thing, and that they are protected by the police and their legislature and their judicial system. They think it still exists to protect them, when in reality, it's just rule by man, rule by politics, rule by popular opinion, and mob rule. If the mob hates you, then they're going to get you no matter what.